Alright, what's up guys? Got another video for y'all. This time I want to take some time because there's been some people that request it and go over my Season 3 Mastery build. So before we look at the Masteries, I just have my champs pulled up. Mainly because when you're building your Masteries, not every roster is the same. So a lot of the differences come down to who you use most in your roster. So like if somebody uses magic, let's say for their main attacker, you're going to want to spend at least 4 or 5 points in Mystic Dispersion. In Season 2, I used Morning Star a lot more, so I had Mystic Dispersion either at 4 points or maxed out. So just stuff like that. Um, and this season, my main attacker was probably Void, and then followed by Corvus and Blade. And I used Morning Star a couple wars early on, and I was using Mystic Dispersion then, but towards the end of this season, she's been kind of riding the bench. So keep that in mind when you're building your masteries, because that plays a large role in where you want to focus a lot of your points. So, all right, so let's look at the offensive tree first. So pretty standard on the left side. Max precision, max cruelty, 1 point in courage. I don't have any points in glass cannon or any suicide masteries. I just don't really see the value in glass cannon. I think the points can be used elsewhere. Now I do have max despair, which I think is super undervalued. Most people just use despair as a stepping stone. Unless unless you run void, a lot of people are like max despair for void, but I think it's pretty useful for all builds right now. I do have max deep wounds. That's for blade, and only 1 point in assassin. I think the diminishing returns or the diminishing value of assassin. I mean, you don't get much going all the way up. I mean, yeah, but just that first point has the most value. So I don't put too much in assassin. And I didn't take very many final bosses, so just 1 point is enough for mini bosses and stuff like that. I do want to call out unfazed. I would like to run 1 point in here. I think for the most part I've turned 1 on or 0, and it does help. So defensively, I do run willpower, so have to spread out 15 points in the front end. And I think what's kind of mandatory is 3 in recovery and 4 in block proficiency. Then you can kind of spread these remaining 5 points around. I do put a couple extra in in physical resistance, excuse me, and then 2 in perfect block. For no reason in particular, I just think physical resistance is more valuable, and I don't know, I don't value stand your ground at all, so no points there. Only 1 in willpower, but 1 in resonate and 1 in inequity, and that's solely for void. Getting that extra weakness debuff really helps void, and you feel a little more comfortable, I think, fighting whenever they have that debuff. It does suck in arena whenever they're gaining from willpower and it makes your fights longer, but in war fights you really don't feel that because you're always using your best champs. So now this leads me to utility, and so this is let me just say real quick, this is the build that I use for both AW defense and offense, so I don't really flip-flop around too much, so that's why there's 5 points here in limber. If I'm ever going to respec just for offense, those are a lot of points you can kind of take out. But then max parry, max stupefy, only 1 in dexterity. If there was ever a buff to dexterity, I have some spendable points that I would probably put in it, and those spendable points are from petrify. I don't really think this is where I had 3 points remaining and they kind of just fell into petrify, and for some of the matchups that I take, it does help. And yeah, but these points, I think I could find some value for them somewhere else, but for now that's where they're staying. And then lastly, 1 point in Scouter Lens. Scouter Lens definitely gives you a lot more information, intel. I think it really helps. I was kind of skeptical of it at first, but once I tried it, I'm probably not going to go back to a build without Scouter Lens. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any thoughts, any questions, let me know in the comments. Even any suggestions to enhance this build, let me know. But yeah, share your build with me. Ask me, whatever you think. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Later.